I may have crawled back in my dark cave for a long time. If you've been on my YouTube, I don't even know how many months. It's been a very long time. 10 years later. It's, well, not that long, but it has been some time. Um, this is just going to be a nice little update. And then I'm going to be more consistent. I'm going to be on here because I am worthy of being heard. And I still had some more shadows I had to face and love unconditionally and work through. My inner child and my inner teen still had some loving, some things to work through also. And I know I still have a little bit, but I'm ready to show up now. I'm ready to be heard, and I'm ready to authentically be myself. And I think the last one I was like, it's me, I'm ready. And yes, at that point, but I've been having to take off so many layers. I recently found out, months ago, I think at the beginning of this year, probably February, I don't know, sometime, I have ADHD. I'm probably autistic ADHD, but it's a lot harder to get diagnosed with autism. So just like learning alone, I have ADHD and CPTSD has allowed me to start learning more about myself, and like certain things I do is a part of like my ADHD and my CPTSD. I'm most likely have autism. Autistic ADHD is a special breed. Like I'm fighting myself all the time. And honestly, just even like saying that I have like ADHD and CPTSD is very healing for my inner child and my inner teen to acknowledge it. Because like, especially in my family, we don't talk about those things. You have to be perfect. You have to show up as this like pretty package. You know, that box that colonizers try to fit us into? Try to squeeze in that. And I thrown that away. It is burned. It's gone. It's gone. There's no way I'm ever trying to fit in that box again. So here we are. This is, if you're also new to my YouTube, this is a safe space for any spirit/spirits that's literally trying to make a safe space for yourself. Because on my healing journey, I've learned that healing is just making a safe space for your spirit. That's all it is. Like, we feel like we're broken. We feel like we need to fix ourselves, and that's what healing is for. But it's not fixing ourselves. It is fixing the environment around us and internally within our spirit, the dialogue that's been put in our brain. That's a computer. Rewiring our brain, first of all, the computer, is so hard. It is very difficult. So if you're on that journey or you're thinking about it, be kind of gentle with yourself. Because if you go back to my last video, I was like so ready. I'm like, it's me, I'm ready. And then there's still some deprogramming I needed to do. And like pieces of gunk. Because honestly, I see it as like people's projections and also society's projections. Society that colonizers created. Their projections and other beings sticks to your spirit, right? Like gunk. And I just felt like this whole mountain of sludge over my spirit. And I slowly, through the years, have been picking it off. And now I feel like I've done pretty good. There may be little tiny pieces, but I can move. There's so much less gunk than there used to be. And it's okay if you don't know who you are. Like, don't be mad at yourself for not knowing who you are. Because a lot of the time, we do what we have to survive. And that includes, like, creating masks. Especially if you are neurospicy. But even if you're not neurospicy, this society, literally, you have to put on masks to be... Why did that word? To be accepted, right? For others to validate you of being worthy. I don't even get that now. Like, honestly, I used to strive to be worthy and all this stuff. But in reality, you are worthy. You're worthy as you are right now. And yes, you can make a safe space for your spirit and you have room to grow. That does not mean that you're not worthy as you are now. To live the life, to fill your life up with things that make you happy. You deserve that. We all deserve that. So this video is just like a little update, and also it's okay if you take steps back, because last video I swear I was like, I'm ready, and then I found out I had ADHD, and then universe, my ancestors, just so many things, boom, on top of me, and I took a lot of steps back, and that's okay. This journey is not, was it linear? I don't know. You can take 10 steps forward and 20 steps back, and then take 30 steps more forward, and that's okay. It is beautiful. Like, it is a natural thing, and it's okay. I know when we go back, it's really hard not to beat yourself up, but honestly, like, for me, what stopped me from beating myself up, because that also was a lesson, was when those negative voices did come in, like trying to put myself down, like, how dare you can't even get past this, and just negative things that made me feel crappy. I just immediately imagined my inner child and my inner teen, like what I looked like, what I was wearing, everything like that, and imagine me saying that to them, and then it just broke my heart. And then I just, like, in my head, I sat with them, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I have continued this cycle and this dialogue that just makes you feel so crappy, and that's why we shut down and we don't create, because you too do not feel safe. And I'm sorry I have continued that cycle, and I'm done. I'm done continuing that cycle. I'm going to be the protector that we always needed. So all that creativity, all that love, everything you want to do in this life, talk to like my inner child and my inner teen, we're gonna do. We're gonna do all of that. And even more. And if, no matter what, I will protect you. Anyone comes at us incorrect, I'm gonna correct them. And if they can't love us and show up the way that we deserve, I gotta let them go. And that's okay, because even if we are alone on this outside in the 3D, you got me, and we have our ancestors, our spirit team. And that's one thing too that I also really needed to do before I could come back and fully commit to these projects that are calling my spirit. My ADHD, it got me! It got me! Okay, one second. What was I saying? Oh, okay. My ancestors. I needed to continue to build that relationship, and I still am continuing to build it. But being completely transparent, and that's one thing on my YouTube you're going to learn, is that I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to just completely be myself. There's no filters, there's no nothing. I was slacking with connecting to my ancestors more because I felt like I wasn't worthy. And that stemmed from childhood, and especially, I'm Lakota, I'm indigenous. Lakota is a band off of, I think it's Ocheti, what can I say? Ocheti Shakoli. I'm pretty sure that's what we call ourselves, but of course colonizers called us Sioux, which actually came from one of our enemies, which means snake and grass. That's not what we are. Our name actually means friendly people. But I'm Lakota. Sioux, there's 3 different bands, or 3 different bands, I think bands off of them. So Lakota, Nakota, Dakota. We're big. I feel like I wasn't worthy because I'm obviously mixed. I'm also white, and I mostly just look white. My family on the res call me White Wolf for a reason. But my ancestors, like, I had a reading from this beautiful spirits that I just felt called to, and I'm so grateful that they channeled for me. But my ancestors told me that I am worthy. I am worthy, and every single thing that was calling me to connect to them more, that being that was channeling just verified it. They named all the things that was calling me, but I felt like I wasn't worthy because others made me feel not worthy because of the tone of my skin. And I know, like, I have so much privilege with this skin. I'm not trying to cry about having white skin. It's just I didn't feel worthy of connecting to my indigenous ancestors because of it, because I also know, like, my white ancestors probably don't have good history. So there's also shame in that. But at the same time, like, I try my best to be the best being that I can. I believe in equality. I treat all living beings equal, all of our relatives, all the living beings on Uchimaka, Grandmother Earth, including her. So I had to like let myself know that I am worthy. I am worthy of connecting to my ancestors. And since then, I have been connecting to them so much more. I've been starting to work with a spirit, a sacred spirit that my ancestors used to work with, a few of them, and I'm making my way up to more, but a lot of them are trickster spirits, so I gotta start with the gentle ones first, because the next level up ones, their lessons are a little more intense. So I'm taking my time. I'm in no hurry. I know I will work with them when I am ready to work with them. But I am grounded in my spirit. And I am here to stay. You're going to see me here a lot more. And soon my other projects are going to start popping up and you're going to slowly see them. And I'm just really grateful that I never gave up on myself. Because my channel here is just sharing my experience, my point of view of like this human life in this form that I'm experiencing, right, in this meat suit. And just like the tools that I used to get out of that really dark cave that almost all of us, like our spirits, are put into because of like this society that was created by colonizers, and also all the destruction they have done through generations and generations has caused pain and cycles through our spirits, like for so many generations. So I've had to ground myself, and grounding myself has just allowed me to really stand in my power. And I am worthy of standing in my power. That's also something I thought that standing in my power was like this ego thing. And when I first started to try to do that, I did embody it through my ego. Did not feel right at all. So my ancestors really broke me down. I've cried so much through this journey. But now I'm not running through my ego. Ego's there, yeah, we need our ego. Ego was made to protect, but a lot of time, unfortunately, it's built more to protect us in the way of the society that was built by colonizers. So it tries to follow the rules that the colonizers created. So that's something I've also had to do, is like reconstruct my ego too, in the way of, I understand we were taught this, this, and this, but that's not correct. We're gonna follow this guideline now. All we gotta do is be kind to other beings, not hurt other beings, and live the best life we can, and that's it. Like, there's not all these crazy rules that were made up by men that are honestly like lost. Their spirits, they are so disconnected from their spirits. Why would I ever want to take advice or follow the steps of beings that just take and take? Because in the Lakota way, our word for white man is washichu. But what it literally means is a person that takes. Like a person that excessively takes, and it's never enough. That was our name for them. Because that's literally what they do. That's what colonizers do. There's never enough. And that's because they're so disconnected from their spirit. Because they forget we're all related. We are all connected. All of us are relatives, including the trees, the animals, freaking wind. Like, we are all related. And they forget that. They are so self-centered. And in that, they're disconnected from their true spirit. So what they keep trying to fill, that hole that's inside their spirit, that disconnect, they keep trying to fill with outside sources. And I say this because I also, on my journey of healing, I'm like, well, if I get this, this, and this, then I'll be happy, then I'm good. And my ancestors showed me nothing on the outside is going to heal what's hurting on the inside. Nothing's going to make me feel complete, because I already am complete. But to like feel complete, I have to know that I am enough. And in that, you got to take off all that gunk, and that takes time. I mean, probably won't take as long as me. I'm real stubborn, and I've had to take off a lot of gunk. But it's worth it. It's painful. It's difficult. You may lose beings that you love around you, but you are worthy of that journey, and you are a warrior. Because I'm going to tell you right now, like, I had to cut off my mom for 3 years. Now we're talking, and she's respecting me, but I'm at this point where if she crosses my boundaries and she can't respect me, I will cut her off again. And that's because I love me unconditionally. And I will not put up with other people's disrespect and projections because they're hurt. Like, I will understand that you're a hurt person hurting people, but I will not allow you to hurt me. I will not allow you to be around me if you're not down to do the work. If I can do the work, you can do the work. That's how I feel with people. And like, also, if you're not ready, I understand that. I'm not going to push that on you. That's not cool either. Like, if you're not ready to do it now or in this life, maybe it's the next life, that's your journey. It's not my right to tell you anything. And that's the same with you. When you do go on this journey, I know you're going to want to pull people with you that you love so much and be like, well, you just got to do this. You just got to do that. And yes, you can give them the tools, but you cannot carry them with you. You cannot. And I'm going to tell you that right now. Your ancestors will not. Ancestors, spirit guides, like creator, universe, whoever you believe in, will not allow that to happen. Like, unless they have to do the work. They have to do that. And I say this because I tried to do that for years and years and years. It's only hurt me. And I can love those beings unconditionally, but I can't save them. I can give them the tools and I can lead by example, but I can't save them. But I can save me. And I have saved me, my inner child, my inner teen, and I'm so excited for like this project alone, but the other projects, my inner child, my inner teen, we are living our dreams. We are dreaming big, and we are just doing it up. I'm so excited. So if I can do this, and if you knew me from even a year ago or way past that, you never would have thought. Like, I never would have thought, because all the gunk that was put on me through life made me feel like I was this certain kind of being. Made me feel like I was quiet. I was introverted. I didn't like people, all these things, but in reality it's because of my circumstances, my traumas, everything that occurred. Once I took all that gunk off, my inner child loves people. Yes, I can be introvert because I'm also neurospicy. So energy wise, yeah, I need more time to recharge. But I now way more extroverted in the way of I love talking to people. I love connecting with strangers. Like, it is the coolest thing to be able to connect with strangers. And if you knew me from the past, you understand. If not, I was terrified to talk to people. I was so terrified that so many people thought I was stuck up because I wouldn't talk to people. But in reality, I was so scared of people. But now I'm here being me. And honestly, it took me a while to come back on here because I was so scared of judgment. But people are going to perceive me in whatever way they perceive me. And I can't control that. But if I don't show up as me, I'm not going to be able to connect to you beautiful beings that resonate with me. And it's such an honor that you are sharing your energy and your time with me. I know this is kind of like a long little intro update, but I'm very grateful that you're here. And I'm very proud of you if you're thinking about going on the journey of making a safe space for your spirit, or if you're on the journey of it. Like, no matter what, I'm so proud of you, because that is just such a big deal. And I know your inner child, your inner teen are so grateful for you. It's bumpy. And I'm going to have so many different series on here because this journey is just so complex. And I'm just really excited. I am super grateful that I never gave up on me, and I'm here. And my ancestors told me if I show up, my community will show up. So if you're here, hello, you are my cousin now. We are cousins. We are whatever you want to be. We are one. Just kidding. We're not one. We're our own beings. But I've always wanted beings that will love me for who I am. And the only way they're going to love me for who I am is if I show up as me. And honestly, last video, I was still trying to curate myself in a way that is digestible. Because especially being neurospicy, but also my family, I felt like I always had to edit myself in some kind of way. Because it was always too much. But now, like, I told my ancestors, I've been crying and praying for beings that will love me for me. And they're like, how are they going to find you if you're not being you? If you're not just being yourself, they're not going to find you. You're going to attract other beings, not ones that love you unconditionally for who you are. And I was stubborn for a while, and now here I am, being me. And I am just so grateful. Another project that's going to be coming up probably in a couple weeks. I'll let you guys know. That one terrifies the crap out of me. So bad, but also that one is allowing me to heal parts of my ancestral trauma. Because, and this too, especially talking about colonizers, it scares me because colonizers are terrifying. Like, especially right now, what they're doing, what they've been doing, but they're still doing to this day around the world. It's terrifying, but also if we don't speak up about it, if we don't acknowledge it, it's not going to change. That's why they've been able to do what they've been doing for so long, because it's been normalized, right? They like sugarcoated it, made it seem like they're the good guys, when they're the only beings that cause destruction and take and take and take, and don't just like realize that this one life is such a blessing and that we get to live and experience all living beings. They just want more and more and more and more. But me being able to talk about it, very healing, because my ancestors, my mom's side, are Lakota, and they went through boarding schools. I'm going to start another series. It's also going to be a podcast, but it's going to be on here too. It's going to be a video podcast that's going to specify on all the terrible, well, a decent amount of terrible things that colonizers did, and I'm also going to have it open so other beings can inform me too, because I don't know everything. I don't know everything colonizers have done, but I know a lot that they've done to my people. And other things too, but I know way more details of my people because we had to keep it alive within ourselves. Because you don't see that in history books of the terrible, horrific things they did. Like when I tell people that my grandparents were in boarding schools, they're like, "Oh, was that fun?" And I'm like, "An indigenous boarding school?" And they're like, "Oh, what's that?" Like, so many people don't know, and I can't be upset with them. They weren't educated. You know, our history books have so much sugar coating on it to make it seem like their behavior was okay when their behavior was not okay. It was not. ADHD, it got me. So that series will be about that, and that's going to be coming up soon. But this is my nice little intro. This is me, Jasa, and I'm ready to be me. I may get loud. I may move around a lot too, because I notice I also stem when I get excited and I move my body. And I'm not going to filter myself anymore. I'm going to show up as me. And that's it. And you deserve to show up as you. But also it may be easy of like, I'm just going to show up as me, and you're able to do that immediately. That is so cool if you can do that. But if you can't do that immediately and you're like, I don't even know who I am, that's okay too. That was me for years. And it was like just layers of gunk had to pull off, and like little pieces of my spirit would come up. And I was like, oh, I forgot about this. I forgot about this part of me. And it took years for all these parts to come up. And now I'm at this point where I know who my spirit is. It's taken a long time. So even if you have no idea who you are, the fact that you want to find who your spirit is such a big deal. And I am so proud of you. And I know your ancestors, your spirit team, they are celebrating. They're just like so excited that you're choosing you. Even if it takes time. Just wanting to choose you is a step. And that's so cool. And I'm just like, I just see your inner child and your inner teen so excited. And we all deserve that. Because, like in the Lakota way, with her actions, we think about, what will these actions have on our future 7 generations? How will this affect them, right? So if we are all right now, we are the 7th generation from whenever my ancestors and all the wars were happening with indigenous beings, battles and stuff. We're the 7th generation from them. And all like the spirits during that time told them that they had to make a plan to survive until this generation, us. And then us. We would have to make a plan 7 generations down, but ours brings peace. Theirs was survival, ours is peace. The way we bring that is finding who our spirit is, because we are magic. We are literally magic. I grew up in 2 different worlds, colonized and decolonized world. In the decolonized world, I see magic in my face. Like, I have seen magic. Science cannot explain what things I have seen at all. So we are magic, and when we stand in our spirit, in our magic, in our power, and we are connected with ourselves, because we're all related. In the Lakota way, at the end of a prayer, we say Matake Oyase, which means we are all related. So when we acknowledge that, and we move as such, we move as the tree is my brother, the bird is my sister, like moving like that, we will have a different world. It's just, you see different when you think like that versus, oh, look at that bird, it's whatever. Like, it's not an actual living being that has a family and has a life. That's so disconnected. And that's what I mean by colonizers. They are so disconnected because they don't see how precious any life is except their own, and then the ones they care about, and that's it. And that's not the way it should be. So when we all stand in our powers, our spirit, that's when things will change. So you go do the work. This was my nice little intro. Colonizers always fire me up. But this is going to be a safe space. I'm going to have a series on inner child, inner teen, real talk of just life, and it's going to be a safe space. And if you want to follow me, you can hit the little subscribe thingy and the bell thingy ding if you want to. If not, and you're meant to hear me, I'll find you. Just kidding. Well, my ancestors will probably put me on your feet, but I won't creepily find you in a creepy way. Will I? No, just kidding, I won't. But thank you for spending your time with me. I'm feeling really good, and I'm really grateful that I did this, because honestly, I was terrified to pursue my dreams. I was so scared. I'm like, I'm not worthy, and my ancestors are like, you know you're worthy. You know you're worthy. You're scared that you're going to succeed. And that hit me so hard. And I cried for a long time. And then I dug real deep. And it just... I'm scared that I'm going to be living the life that I've always deserved. Because I'm not gonna cry. Because like my inner child, my inner teen gave up on that long time ago. They're like, life is just meant to survive, and that's what it is. And I never gave up on them, because I never wanted that to be my life. I never wanted my life to just be surviving. My ancestors did not live through what they lived through for me to just survive. And especially these other beings around the world that are literally losing their lives because of colonizers. So the least I can do is show up and do what my spirit came here to do. Was to just share my experience, be completely transparent, because that's not what we see. We don't really see that. We've been taught to fit in this box, paint this pretty picture, and show everybody, like, look how good we're doing. Look at all these great highlights. And yeah, the highlights are wonderful. But that also, when all we see is the good things, we think that all these, like, negative things, all these hardships, and, like, the surviving part of life is not normal. We feel like there's something wrong with us because we can't just paint that pretty picture. But nobody has, like, a pretty picture. Life is full of all of the emotions. All, like, good things, bad things. That's just a part of life. ADHD, it got me. Oh. One second. I need water. I will find myself again. 1 second. I don't know where my brain went. I was talking about, surviving. Welcome to my brain. It likes to bounce and just erase sometimes. I'm terrified of actually living a life that makes my spirit happy, that my spirit intended to live. It's terrifying because I'm so used to the opposite. But I'm worthy of the fight, so I'm gonna keep showing up. I'm gonna be consistent because I am worthy of, like, all I really want is a community. Beings that see me, like, as my spirit, and see me. And that's it. That's all I want. So I'm showing up as me. I'm sharing my experience on my journey of making a safe space for me. And just navigating this human life in this meat suit I am in right now, because I know I have been in many meat suits. But I'm going to share my experience in this one. And if you would like to join, I'll see you in the next video. You're such a beautiful being. And if you made it this far, you deserve a snack. I hope you get a snacky. Drink some water. Mini Wichoni. Water's life. And I shall see you the next time. Dokshake. I'll see you later. You're amazing.